Hey guys, Brandon Zero. I'm starting to do like a new. I wouldn't call it a series, but what I wanted to do is every once in a while, because I do have that original. I started out streaming. A lot of people don't know that I started out streaming and not doing just YouTube videos. And I really enjoyed the format of streaming because it let me communicate with you guys, and y'all could see my face, and then I could just chit chat and have some fun that way. And I really miss doing that. So what I wanted to do is I'm still gonna be doing my same old YouTube videos. I'll probably go back to streaming, but so that I could provide this kind of a format on YouTube every once in a while, as I see, you know, maybe not necessarily like I would say a gap in the content, but as I see time arise in my schedule that I can do so, I wanted to bring just a little short video of me talking to you. Oh, that was a KO up there, huh? Am I gonna find my way out? That's a tree underneath here. That's cool. I wanted to bring you guys just a little video where I could maybe, if I find questions that you guys can ask on my videos, to answer so y'all can better get to know me. Something like that, I could answer those questions in this kind of a format while I goof off and maybe play other games that aren't necessarily what align with my standard content. Like, I mean, I pretty much solely do first-person shooters and stuff like that. I do like strategy games, and I do like other kinds of games, RPGs and such, but first-person shooters is really where I like to settle and I like to rest. So I figured this kind of a format is something where I could play goofy little games like this. Not that Cube World is necessarily a goofy game, but I could play little games like this, show y'all some gameplay of some other games, and it gives me an open format to talk, because playing a game like this doesn't require so much of my thought process that I can't easily communicate with you guys. Shrine. Finally a shrine. So this lets me just communicate with you guys, answer some questions, and I figured for my ear. I figured for our first video, it could be more of like an introductory kind of video, because I pretty much just jumped straight into doing videos on YouTube and never bothered with doing any kind of an intro, especially when you don't have any viewers. It's not like people are going to care about your intro video anyway. So maybe now I've at least hit a point where I know some of you guys are consistently watching some of the videos. This can provide that a little bit more of a connection between us. So as I said, I did get my start on Twitch. I started streaming there. I probably will go back to streaming. The reason I left streaming is because it was not conducive for growth. Twitch is really in a bad place right now, where they're trying to make a good movement towards it, and I've really noticed it even around the time that I left it. Dang! Even around the time that I left, they still were making really good movements towards searchability for new streamers, and now they have an entire section for growing communities, which is great. It still doesn't help, you know, somebody who has 0 or 1 viewers to be able to be found on the platform. You still have to do the hardest part and get up to a couple, you know, maybe like 10 or 12 or something like that, I think, before you show up on there. Maybe it's changed since I've checked it out, but I wasn't noticing as much growth on there. Additionally, when you're not streaming, you're not growing. So you stream, I would used to stream 4 or 5 nights a week for, I don't know, between 2 and 3 hours a night, which is 15 to 16 hours a week of stuff that I was putting out there, but I was only being found during that time that I was streaming. So I wasn't streaming the other, I don't know, however many hours are in a freaking week, 100 and something hours, then I wasn't being found. So what I decided to do was, initially I cut back and I would only stream like 2 or 3 nights a week, but I had such a good amount of success on YouTube that I decided to just cut Twitch completely. So I stopped doing Twitch and I started just concentrating more on researching the video games that I loved, trying to provide good solid information, and then just learning, because I was completely new to the tech world of video editing and such. So I had to work up and buy a lot of components to be able to do the current setup. And I do get a lot of comments about how my setup is a lot better than what some people would expect for such a small YouTuber is because I put my money where my mouth is, and I actually invested in a lot of really expensive equipment. I mean, I think this microphone was $300 or $400, and I also have a good mixing board that cost another $300 or $400. You know, I put the money into the setup to be able to bring in that level of quality because that's what I wanted out of my stream and out of my YouTube content. What the heck? Who are you? Are you fighting a chicken? He's legitimately fighting a chicken. Now what we can do here is run in and grab that gold while his back is turned, hopefully, and he doesn't kill us. He's gonna attack us. 1000% he's gonna attack us. But I'd like to get the gold. Is it worth it? I think it's worth it. So what I wanted to do is just come in, kind of give this as a format. Maybe I'll do, I don't know, one video a week in this kind of a format, maybe one every other week. These definitely are not going to be any kind of a video that's going to take away from other content. I mean, with the Breakpoint raid and with No Man's Sky dropping a release this week, you know, those are going to definitely take precedence. But while I have a little bit of a gap here on the night of the 27th, so this video, once I get finished with everything, will go live the morning of the 27th, or the 28th, I mean, probably. So Thanksgiving morning it'll go live, and then that gives me enough time to where I can concentrate on doing the raid and looking at that content, and then No Man's Sky, looking at that update and doing some comparison videos so that I can push those videos out as I see fit. But I wanted to do this so that it gives me an open availability to talk to you guys. Y'all can learn who I am. You can see that I'm not just some kind of a voice behind a video. I probably still will not be including cameras in my other videos. There's more about the actual content than you seeing my dumb mug. But in this kind of a format, this lets me be able to, you can see my face, you can see I'm a real human being. And y'all can ask questions on these videos that I will answer in future videos. And you can comment on other videos and ask questions too if you see fit. But I figured this one I would just at least start out with an overview of my start, which I already kind of did. And then maybe like a rough overview of just me and who I am, and answer a lot of questions that I got on streaming. I have a little bit of an advantage, I mean, here, in the sense that when I was streaming, I had a lot of consistent people that came into my channel and would get to know me and ask questions. So I at least have that foundation of things that people would typically ask me. So I kind of know like where I should start, I guess, is the what I'm getting at there. I think one of the more popular things was I streamed with a lot of other guys who were prior military as well. So people like to ask about my experience in that, and I did serve in the Coast Guard for 6 years. I joined in 2009, and I left. I joined at the end of 2009 and left at the beginning of 2016. So like 6 1/4. 6 1/4 if you get technical. What the heck was that? Was that a bomb? Oh, that was kind of cool. So a little over 6 years I served in the military. I did 2 years of search and rescue. I did search and rescue in New Orleans, or I guess New Orleans would be the closest that most people would know. It was Gulfport, Mississippi, technically. And then I served 4 years as a purchasing agent in New Orleans, same area. I literally went right back to the same area after doing training in Petaluma, California. I did my basic training in Cape May, New Jersey. And also while I was a purchasing agent, I was also what we would equate to a personal trainer. So I got to pretty much take 2 hours a day and work out during my schedule. So that was always fun. And I really enjoyed purchasing. Durillian Kingdom. Can I get these guys to help with one of those big I don't think so. What are y'all stars? Do I see y'all stars? I don't care about you. You got anything? The sky whistle? What the heck is that? Huh. So, people like to know that I did serve in the military for 6 years. After leaving the military, I guess I should say before doing the military, I was a fuel attendant at Kroger for a few years. I also did screen printing for a year, so I made t-shirts And then I also did 1 year as a host at Pappadeaux. So I got to work in the food industry as well. I got to work in quite a few different industries before joining the military. After leaving the military, I continued my education. While I was in, I got my associates and some of my bachelor's in business. When I got out, I started a business with my dad, which I still run to this day with him. We actually expanded that business and started up a second one recently. And I finished my MBA in marketing and entrepreneurship, a dual MBA, at the end of 2018. So about a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago. I still have time left on my GI Bill, so I may go for another degree. I don't really know. Computers have always interested me, clearly, so I might do something in computers. I don't know. We shall see. I think I've got like 4 months left on my GI Bill that I may use at some point. But that's a good foundation of kind of where I've come from, like my experiences. I did get married when I was in New Orleans. I met my wife through my brother, but in 2018, I'm an idiot. 2018, the beginning of 2018, we went through the divorce process, and that was finalized last year. So I am divorced. I have 2 daughters. They are currently 5 and 3. I also, while I was in the military, in around the beginning of 2012, was diagnosed with colon cancer. I have a very rare genetic disorder that resulted in my colon thinking it was a good idea to make a bunch of polyps. So I lost my colon in 2012, and I have what they call as a J pouch. They took the last little bit of my small intestine and cut it open and wove it on around itself and made a little pouch out of it. So I'm all natural. I don't have any external things that I use the restroom in. I'm all normal. But I did have colon cancer. I do not have a colon anymore, I guess. So you could say I'm not all there. Yeah, whatever. So I have a little bit of experience. That's why I get a lot of questions. I used to get a ton of questions in my stream about certain things because of the severe amount of stuff that I've been through. I had a pretty normal childhood. No big issues. Parents stayed married, still are married today. Had 2 older brothers. And life was pretty much normal until I graduated high school. I did 2 years of community college and flunked out, and then I joined the military. And that's pretty much when things became crazy. Before the military, I thought I wanted to be an aerospace engineer. And then I shortly after that changed my philosophy to physics, theoretical physics, more importantly. And really enjoyed that. Got up to a calculus level, did physics, but just it didn't turn out to be my thing. And I think I was really lazy and I didn't have drive. So the military really cracked me into shape and put a lot of drive and purpose into my life, which I did not have beforehand. So that's when things really changed. And over the course of the last 10 years, things have just, things have opened up. So a lot of people come to me, and that's kind of, I think, the draw that I had when I was streaming, that they like to ask me those questions about my experiences, because I do like to try and give unbiased recommendations and advice to people on things that they can do, so that hopefully you can avoid the complications that I've had in my life and some of the stupid things that I've done. But at the same time, I have made some good choices that I can steer you on things to do, things not to do, so on and so forth. Again, this is not like some kind of an inspirational video where this series is going to be me giving you some pep talks and stuff like that. What the hell is that? An ogre! See, I'd like to get to the point where I can fight him. That'd be kind of fun. Again, I want to play games kind of like this because it gives me that availability where it's very easy to talk and play. There's a lot of games out there that require a lot of concentration. And on those days in streams, I just wouldn't talk as much, and I hated it because I really enjoy talking. That's why I love content creation, why I like being out there. There's always, of course, that negative aspect. You're always going to have people who hate on you for no reason, just because. And I think I do pretty well at being able to shrug most of that off. I like to take any criticism. I like to be able to use to learn from it and move forward. So I always appreciate any kind of criticism that anybody can give me for growth. If you're going to tell me that I can do a little bit of different on my audio settings to make my audio better, then I'm all for that. If I'm doing something that's I could do more efficiently, again, I love that kind of stuff. So keep that stuff coming. But I do take just, I would call it dumb criticism very well. And that is the blank statement of, you know, you're an idiot, or just something stupid like that. Something that has no value to it. I think that I take that pretty well. Probably having two older brothers that just took advantage of me and beat up on me all my life is probably why I can do that pretty well now. But yeah, that's about it. I really just wanted to make some kind of a short intro video. I realized that even though I've been pushing out videos for, I believe, a couple months now, I'd never come to the point where I actually made some kind of a video where I can connect with you guys and have some kind of an open communication where you can ask me questions like this and I can answer them. If you aren't a part of the Discord channel, which I only just recently kicked back up, I pretty much had it on the hiatus. I think almost all the people that joined it back in the day have left. So we are at a good starting point for starting that thing over. Oh, look at that. Why green screen? So we're at a good point to start that over. I'll put a link of the Discord in the description below. You can join that up. Do I have to lean this way? Oh yeah, look at that. If I lean this way, it goes away. Let me see if I can get it to... Oh yeah, look at that. Huh, weird. I'll leave a description, or I'll leave a link, more importantly, in the description down below. You guys can join the Discord channel. That's a way to directly connect with me. I do have a Twitter that you can follow as well. I've been trying to get back on that thing, but I try to concentrate on one thing at a time. And right now, YouTube was that thing. I'll probably slowly bring back Twitch so that I can have that live conversation with you guys. And then the Discord channel is another way that we can just have that open level communication. And join up, guys. Join up now. Like, comment down below, all the same stuff. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys. Y'all are awesome.